Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the Mary Jane Mack Show on Transformation Talk Radio. I'm your co-host, Nancy, and I'm here with Mary Jane. For those of you who are new to the show, Mary Jane is a holistic intuitive. She has an office in Issaquah, Washington. However, you do not need to live in the state of Washington to become a client, as we have clients all over the United States, including Europe. Mary Jane does the T.A.P.System, the Accelerated Performance System, which is muscle test the body to find out what your nutritional deficiencies are, recommends a whole food nutrition product, gets into your body, repairs it, and brings your body back into balance. When your body's back into balance, you're happy, you feel good, and life is a good thing to live. Especially these days, we have a lot of stress. And today we're talking a little bit about everything. Last month, we went over some basics and got a lot of feedback. A lot of our clients said, oh, I forgot all about that. That was a good reminder. So today we're just going to talk a little bit about everything. And if you have a question for Mary Jane, which I say, you use this to your advantage, give us a call at 1-800-930-2819 and ask Mary Jane your questions. Could be about yourself, a family member, a pet. She's even been delving into people who are trying to sell their house, can't sell their house. So she's actually helped a lot of people figure out why the house wasn't selling. And then it sold all of a sudden. So let's take advantage of her gift. And with that, hello, Mom.
Thank you, Nancy. Thank you. And happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody.
Oh my God. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Gotta have green on. If I didn't have green on, I'd probably be fired, but
I'm 100% Irish.
My father is not. My dad is 100% Polish. So I come from a split household. But it's always a lot of fun on St. Patrick's Day. We're all Irish today.
Exactly. So it's a fun day and a fun time. And we're, after the feedback from the last show, I thought Nancy and I talked about it. And we said, we talk about all this all the time. I bet everybody's tired of it. And then the things we just happen to hit on, so many people, regular clients that listen to the show all the time and who have been on the schedule regularly for years said, I used to do that all the time. And I don't know what happened, but I forgot about it, especially during COVID, when I start going out, like putting lemon in the water and just some simple things. She said it was such a great reminder. So we thought about other things that are great reminders. And again, we have people come in the office and sometimes it's a mystery. They have one little thing that still keeps hanging on and you're trying to be the detective and find out what is it? Well, it's that same old question that sometimes I forget to ask because I think everybody
Already knows.
Yeah, like, do you use a microwave? Oh, just a little bit, like every day to warm up my coffee, or I do something quick. And my wife tells me not to do it, who is also a client. And he says, it won't hurt me. And it gives you a toxic stomach. And if you have something that's not getting better and you're still microwaving, stop doing it. And a convection oven, a lot of microwaves have the convection oven in it. That's much better, much healthier, and the food tastes even better in it.
Well, every time you microwave your food, you're just killing all the good stuff, all the nutrients out of it. And I think it is funny because our clients do say, oh, it's just like Mary Jane said, I just heat up my coffee or I just heat up leftovers. Well, what's the point? You're killing all the, good nutrients out of that food and then putting it in your body, which is creating a problem. So I always tell people, get that out.
It creates bacteria. And I had another call yesterday, as a matter of fact, from a gal, and she had an issue and she wasn't sure, it was like in her pelvic area and wasn't sure if it was her hormones or what. Well, it happened to be her bladder. And the first thing I asked her, because she's a regular client, she's always right on, really good. And I said, do you microwave? She said, well, I have been lately. And she said, interesting, because we have a new puppy and we give the puppy fresh food, but it's in the refrigerator. So I've been warming it up in the microwave. And she said, and it's interesting you mentioned that because the puppies had diarrhea constantly. And I said, well, there's your problem I said, just put it in a plastic bag, put it in warm water and warm it up. You know, you just let it sit out. She said, well, duh, I never thought of that. And so it's like an easy solution. And that's why she had a bladder issue, because she was microwaving. So it's a simple solution. But if you forget to ask the question and people just go along thinking it's all okay and don't think about it, a lot of my clients, when I talk about the microwave, I tell them they just have to get rid of it if it's a portable one. And they'll go home and just get rid of it and go get a small convection oven, because that just works better and it's easier, and then they have no issues.
A toxic stomach.
Yeah, when you get bacteria in your stomach, what happens is it's a toxic stomach. That bacteria goes up to your lungs, can cause breathing issues. And like this gal said, her little dog is like, it was another client. The dog had breathing problems. And they had not only had that issue, but they had toxins in their house. So it's such a simple solution, but when you're not finding out you've got an issue that's ongoing, you got to look in your environment. And that's why Nancy and I are going to talk a little bit about everything. And last time we covered a lot of things in your food and eating. And we're going to talk about your house today and the basics of what's going on in your house. For example, we did a remodel, and we didn't it was done in November, but we had to put off the vent cleaning till just last week. And we got our vents cleaned and the dryer vent cleaned. And when the guy was done, really nice young fella, he said that the vents were really pretty bad. And you could tell we did a remodel because there was a lot of stuff in there. And also the dryer vent had 2 big clogs in it. So, and it's like sometimes at night I go to bed and I think about that dryer because, you know, I could start a fire. And so he got that cleaned out good. He said it should be good for years now. So it's something that's really important. And the other thing we notice, our dryer takes a long time to dry. And that's because it can't vent out. And so now it's, you know, just having that done, it's improved that dramatically. So those are safety things. And as far as the vents, you know, when you have all that dust and dirt in your vents, and often people will say, well, I have a new house. Well, your house is probably worse than the average house, because the new house, what happens is when they're doing that construction, those vents aren't covered. And all that dust and stuff goes down there. They don't think about that. So it's, even if you have a new house, you could check with your contractor, but it's probably a good thing to get your vents cleaned right at the start.
Before you actually move in.
Before you move in, yeah. And then you know where you're at, because, you know, everybody thinks when they move in, same with drains, you know, cleaning your drains. Well, I got a new house. Doesn't matter if you got a new house. It's what goes down those drains and how long it's sitting there and where your house is located. Like with the drains, if you live near water or on water, your drains are always going to be worse, and you're going to have to do them more often because they back up the water.
Why is that?
Because you live close to water and the water seeps under the ground. So anytime there's water around or near, you're talking about mold, mildew. You're talking about when you breathe in those gases from that causes kidney issues, a toxic stomach. Those are people that have a lot of skin issues, asthma, breathing problems, bladder issues all the time, incontinence. But you never know, you know, there's so much pollution that adds to your issue, the pollution from the water. People think, oh, you know, I go fishing, catch fish, and I'm eating that fish. Well, dear Lord, if you thought about what you're eating from the toxic water, you may not eat that fish. Because I score everything. And you have to know exactly what you're doing. Just because it's fresh and swimming in the water doesn't mean it's good. So
sure. It's always kind of scary when you look at the water and see what color the water is and people fishing and going home.
Well, today it's just not, everything's changed. Everything has changed. So you just have to go along with that and do the best you can. And, Alaskan stuff is usually better, fresh stuff from Alaska. So you just have to use common sense, and of course not farm raised. Yeah. So, and that's a big thing, is the air you breathe. And then another thing, while we're talking about air and kidney, and talk about those people with CPAP machines at nighttime. You put your breathing machine on. Well, those breathing machines, they've got the hoses, and so they need to be cleaned thoroughly, and probably at least once a week, because I've had several clients that have those, and they've had a lot of bladder issues, a lot of lung issues, a lot of sinus, major sinus, because when you're breathing in moisture and there's mold or mildew in there, you're breathing that in, that's in your sinuses. That's one bad thing, but now that goes to your brain. And when I go to these seminars and they talk about brain issues and people that have some things going on, one of the most common things they find, because they'll do a nasal smear, is mold and mildew in their sinuses. And when I heard that, I thought, that's exactly why I talk about the drains all the time. It's exactly why I talk about your house and your environment and the breathing machines. All those things, you're just delivering more mold and mildew and breathing it in. So by doing the drains and some of the things we talk about, you're preventing that. And they talk about, these guys are like the top neurologists in the country. That is a major issue with people and young people, which starts to affect foggy brain, tired, can't think clear, a lot of other issues.
All right, we're going to take a short break, Mary Jane. You're listening to the Mary Jane Mack Show on Transformation Talk Radio. We'll catch you on the other side.
All clear, ladies. Very well, thank you.
Very good, very good.
We're still on YouTube, by the way, if you guys want to chat.
I know, yeah, I know.
Okay.
I'm very cautious, very cautious.
Sorry, say that one more time. Yeah, it is kind of nice to have that position.
See people smile.
I know, right? It's been missed.
Yes. So it's nice to see the happiness on people's faces once again.
Yeah, especially for kids.
Oh, I know, those poor little kids. I still decide to, wear a mask, but it's nice not having to wear one.
Yeah, we still have, it's a personal choice here at work and stuff like that. So I still, don it here and there. I still wear it just because, I have the boys to worry about. And then also, my mom and stuff like that too.
Yeah.
Not that there's any concern, but it's just, I also feel better, not as many colds and stuff.
Exactly. You got to do what's best for you. So that's all good.
Totally.
Mary Jane, what are you doing?
I'm playing with this microphone thing. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay.
Tap on it though, because then that makes for sure.
Pardon me?
Oh, tap on it still to see if, are you?
I switched to the other one because I can't get it to.
Okay.
It was working right before Jacob came on and said hello to us.
Okay.
So we did get everything up and running ASAP first thing this morning, and then all of a sudden, of course,
Technical
showtime.
stuff, it's all good. Happens.
I was tapping. Did you hear it?
No.
Nope.
All right.
Let it go, Mary. Let it go.
Is it turned up? Like there's a switch, a volume switch in there, isn't there?
Yeah.
So
We try it again.
I actually leave that bad boy at like 12 o'clock most times.
Nope, not working.
All right.
Got any big St. Patrick's Day plans?
Not at the moment. Girlfriend's got a long day today, so we're trying to find out if we're gonna be able to manage some of that. I've got a busy day again tomorrow too, so
Oh, I'll celebrate
don't think I'll
tomorrow.
be able to stay out too late.
Celebrate tomorrow.
Ah, sure.
I think it'll be a St. Patty's Day weekend.
No kidding. A lot of people did it last weekend, like runs and stuff like that too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right, coming back on. Here we go.
Go. I don't know how, but I scraped up the mud.
Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the Mary Jane Mack Show and Transformation Talk Radio. I'm your co-host Nancy, and I'm here with my mom, Mary Jane. And if you don't know about Mary Jane, she's a holistic intuitive, and today we're talking a little bit about everything. Just kind of going over some basics, as last month we did, and we got great feedback from our clients who said, "Oh, I forgot about that. Oh, I forgot about that too." So it's just kind of, this is like a reminder for everybody. And before we went on break, Mary Jane was talking about the air we breathe and CPAP machines and making sure those get cleaned, as they are collectors of mold and mildew. Is that correct?
Exactly. And people, there's people out there on oxygen. And if you're on oxygen part of the time and you take off, because most oxygen, there's an oxygen machine with a long hose. And then there's people that wear the cannula all the time and they might take it off occasionally. Well, those cannulas have to be, or the hoses have to be replaced once in a while, because they collect moisture. And say you take it off or turn it off for a while, that moisture is sitting in there and that creates mold. So if you're on oxygen, you're coughing, you have a little breathing problem, think about your system and what you're using, and clean it up. Just look at it, everything that you use every day, and you take it for granted. And things don't stay clean forever. You have to replace things.
Well, and we just came out of the pandemic where we were all told to wash our hands, disinfect, disinfect the light switches, clean. I mean, I can remember going to the store saying every hour on the hour, it's time to, do our disinfecting. And those are things that we don't think about, oxygen tubes, CPAP machines, your drains, your vents. I mean, when's the last, I bet if we were to ask somebody, when was the last time you got your vents cleaned? That would be a good question to ask. I wonder when people have gotten their vents cleaned. So.
And I also had a client this past week that said, I suppose mold and mildew could be a problem, right? If I'm around it. And I said, well, are you? He said, oh yeah, my windowsills in my apartment get moldy all the time and I have to clean it. I said, that's really bad. You have to really clean it good. And then you have to have a good air machine that's going to get rid of the mold that's in the air. Otherwise, it just keeps adding to your issue and your problem. You can't live in a moldy environment and think you're going to be healthy. It's not going to work.
Yeah,
So
that molds around the windowsills. That's pretty bad. But there's a lot of people who are experiencing mold recently. So.
The mold here, it's because of the moisture. There's so much moisture. And then, or if a room is closed up, these were people even on the East Coast with the mold. When you got a room that's closed up and not ventilated and full of stuff, and moist, again, that's that moisture, it's going to collect mold. Or if you live in an area where the soil doesn't drain, you don't have to be near water. It could be the soil doesn't drain. You could live in clay soil, and then that moisture sits there or sits under your house, and then it comes up, and then that creates a problem on the floor of your house. There's so many things that you look for that. When things, just take a walk through your house and look under things, look at things, especially if you live in an area like here. I know in the Lake Hills area, that's clay soil, and a lot of those houses have moisture under them. They all have sump pumps, and that when you have that, you're going to have mold. And then you move something in your closet on the floor and it's moldy, that's going to cause you to have issues with your own health. So things to look at. So There's so many things. I'm thinking, Nancy, the refrigerator. Oh my gosh, the refrigerator is the big one. When did you clean your refrigerator last? You need to take everything out and clean it and sanitize it. And the other thing is get rid of stuff that's been there very long, because if it's in there very long, it's not any good. I score everything and think, give yourself a time limit on stuff. Some things will last a long time, but if you've had a salad dressing that's open for 6 months, it's probably not very good. So keep up on those things. Keep your house, your food fresh, so you're not eating old stuff. I know in my house, if I left that in my refrigerator, my husband would eat it, because he's from the don't waste anything, and that it's still got to be okay. So I go through things and make sure that they're not there very long, so he doesn't get into trouble. He'll think about it and ask, but most of the time he thinks everything lasts forever. Isn't that right, Nancy?
That's true. Well, we had a client yesterday who had the same mindset. You don't waste anything and you always eat the old food. And I said, you eat it until you get really sick and get food poisoning, and then you'll have to think about it again. As Mom always says, leftovers are good for 3 days. If you're not going to eat it, either put it in the freezer, or after that 3rd day, pitch it. It goes in the garbage. That's it.
Yeah.
So just be mindful. I mean, it's a simple thing. If it's there a week and it still hasn't formed anything on it, it's not good. It's dead. It's
dead. It's still, you could eat it, but I score everything. And if it's 7 or better, it's good. When it gets to a 6, it's not getting any good. That's what clogs up your liver and your gallbladder. So now
that's what creates sludge in the gallbladder, which you often talk about.
Yeah. So now you're going to get into trouble, because it's negative to the body. It slows the body down is what it does. So when it slows the body down and it's moving through that gallbladder and liver, it's not moving, your body's not really moving it. And now things get clogged up and sluggish, and then you get into trouble. And then you get bladder issues from that, but especially gallbladder and bile duct issues.
You get the bloating, the uncomfortableness. So there's a lot that goes along with the gallbladder and the bile duct. That old food, I am one who does not eat old food. I'm very particular.
Oh yeah, she's beyond. She'll never eat anything old. And then for your kids' room, and even your dog's toys. Some of you got tons of toys for those dogs, and they will play with certain ones for a while, then the rest could be pretty dirty. You need to throw them in the wash machine and wash them. And either they work if they squeak, or they don't squeak, but they're not good if they're dirty and they're playing with it. And it's the same thing with kids' toys. Kids' toys, stuffed animals, throw them in the dryer once in a while, especially now with allergies coming up. Kids with allergies, it's like, think about the dust that those stuffed animals collect, and what else is going on in the kids' room that's sitting around. So you want to take everything, even the bedding, and throw it in the dryer once in a while and sanitize it and freshen it up and get rid of the dust. And that makes a huge difference, especially if you have allergies. And allergies have a lot to do with the bladder and the kidney. And again, the drains, that all has a lot to do with allergies and the toxic stomach. So it's not just always like hay fever here. It's like, what's really causing that down below? So that's what we look for.
Yep, those. I think she was probably looking at me when she was talking about dog toys. My dog has several toys.
Baskets
full of toys, but he loves his toys and sanitize them.
But they have to be clean. If they're dirty, they're not good for the dog either. So, but we do throw them in the dryer, but you got to go through them once in a while and either wash them or get rid of them. That's it. I mean, you wouldn't let your kid play with a dirty toy, and the dog is the same thing. Even though they eat stuff when they go out, you want to try and keep them as healthy as they can be.
Keep their environment fresh and clean. So, and that comes to when you're washing your hardwood floors, make sure you're not using any kind of toxic chemicals, because your four-legged furry family members are walking on that, and that's getting absorbed into their pads of their feet. So you have to be careful about what you're using as far as cleaning products within your house as well.
Yeah, like that Febreze or the Carpet Fresh stuff you throw on the carpet, those are all chemicals. Then all these things that make your hardwood floors look better and shiny, they're chemicals. So if you have dogs or you're walking in your bare feet, that's an issue. Or cats.
Or cats, or children, small children
Yeah,
crawling
yeah.
around on the floor.
Because then they put their hands in their mouth or lick their paws, and then they have they're toxic. So, and the other thing is really be careful what kind of chemicals you use. I mean, besides cleaning, it's springtime now, so everybody gets out and they're working in the yard. If you're using heavy duty chemicals, that's a major issue, because that really depletes your health totally. There are products that are more natural. I'm not going to advertise them, but there's like Cedar Side. It's a company that's got natural cedar products, and I can spray my yard in the spring, and then again maybe once in the summer, and I get rid of gnats and all those little tiny bugs, but it's healthy and natural and doesn't bother the animals.
Yep,
Yeah.
safe for the dogs, safe for the kids. Okay, with that, time for us to take a short break. You're listening to the Mary Jane Mack Show on Transformation Talk Radio. Catch you on the other side.
All right, all clear, ladies.
Thank you, Benny. Ugh.
Hey, Nancy, you can see that printer there. Move no, the printer is on your left side. You can see the cords and everything. Put the plant on. So there's something, it'd be, email us anything you'd like to hear about or talk about, or
Question.
concerns. Just anything, any topics you want to hear about, or any information you'd like. It's like the people that I was telling somebody yesterday, I can talk about anything, but if somebody starts shooting questions at me, I'm like, it's another doorway in to help people, because it's what people are thinking about that I may not be, that I might not be thinking of. So fire away, fire away.
Fire away.
We're gonna do tips of the day, huh, Nancy?
Tips of the day. What's the tip of the day for St. Patrick's Day?
Enjoy, laugh, and have fun.
Have fun.
Have fun, Irish or not. It's a good day.
Everybody's Irish on St. Patrick's Day.
Go to Chicago. I mean, everybody's really Irish. Of course, I don't know what it's like there now anymore.
I remember my last St. Patrick's Day in Chicago. It started at 9 a.m. and I believe the festivities ended at 2 or 3 a.m. the next day. So it was quite the experience.
Yeah.
Quite the experience.
But that's a normal for these party people.
Oh, Lord have mercy. I didn't even try keeping up. I was just, but it was a lot of fun. I had a great time. So
Ready
are
to
you
come back?
cooking corned beef tonight?
All right, stand by. Here we go.
Who, me?
Looking at you, looking at me is the only
Sunset and get it. Yeah.
Okay. Are we back?
Yep.
Sorry, everyone. I missed the music. Mary Jane and I were talking. Welcome back to the Mary Jane Mack Show on Transformation Talk Radio. I'm your co-host, Nancy. We're here with Mary Jane, and we got Benny in the studio. And today we're just talking about a bunch of basics, kind of giving everybody reminders household tips. We've talked about cleaning your drains. We've talked about, hey, when's the last time you got your vents cleaned at your house, your refrigerator, just all different kinds of things. So
Your electrical surge protectors, very important. Go through your house and check your lamps, things that you've had a long time. You know, people think those things last forever, but the cord can get dry and frayed, especially sometimes they're kinked and rolled up and then they really break. So look at those things. And if they are, especially in the bedroom, if you're not sleeping well, often it can be lamps that have electricity that are leaking from the cord, or you've got surge protectors that are old. Those don't last forever either. You got to replace them once in a while. And so it's like clean up things, look at what you got. If you're not sleeping, look around your room. If you have too many electronics near your bed, that can keep you from sleeping. So the electronics, like a radio, should be at the other side of the room. Speaking of electronics, my husband went out to he has a new iPhone, and he hasn't been, it's new. So he went out and he was walking quite a bit. And when he came home, he said, oh my gosh, he said, I can hardly walk. What's wrong with my legs? And I went to test him, and I went behind him, and he had his phone in his pocket. And I said, you can't have this in your pocket. And he said, well, I didn't. I had it in my shirt. He didn't have it over his heart, but he had it on his right side. Well, the phone, when I tested it, his whole body was a 3. So he can't wear the phone. You know, when it was a smaller phone, we'd put it in a leather case, and the leather case would protect him from what's in the cell phone, from the EMFs. And so that's a major issue, especially with the cell phones that are stronger now, the 5Gs. So think about if you're wearing those, they should never be over their heart. A client of mine said, oh, I only put it there once in a while. And it doesn't matter if it's once in a while, it depletes your energy. Your energy, heart energy should be a 12 to a 15. When my husband came home, he was a 3, and he could hardly walk, because it affects your bladder, which affects your legs. And so it's something to pay attention to, especially if you already have some health issues. Then you could be even worse. So you got to figure out a different way to like women put it in their purse. So that helps quite a bit.
Although I will say, I've seen a lot of women who have purses, but that phone is always in their back pocket. A lot of women keep it in their back pocket.
Well, if they put it in their back pocket, they're going to have hip issues, and they're going to have knee issues. They're going to have right-sided issues. It's going to affect them. So, and I see a lot of women with it in their pocket, men too, but men tend to want to put it in their shirt pocket, which is even worse.
Or
and what we used to do with the phones is put them in a leather case, like the guys would wear them on their belt, and they would protect them, and they would be strong with that. So it's about finding the right, and there are different cases that have that protection. So it's a matter of getting something and being aware of that, especially if you notice you're more tired, especially with the phone, and you've got the phone on you all the time. And the phone at nighttime, if you got it near you, that's an issue too. That's a sleep issue. You should turn your phone off at night or put it in another room.
And they also say you should stay off your phone and your tablet at least 1 hour before you go to bed. No electronic devices, because I guess it stimulates your brain, and you need that time to decompress and calm everything down. So
well, and that's the thing with brain tap. If the phone can really affect your brain and your brain cells. So it's a major issue with what's going on, your nervous system. It affects your nervous system and wipes your nervous system out. So there's so many electronics now, no matter where you go, you just have to be more aware of that and do things to protect yourself. Like I always wear my Claris pendant. I've had this since 95, and I wear it all the time, which protects you like outside, but
well, get your finger off. There you go.
there you go.
There you go.
And there are other types of pendants like that that are really good. You just have to know, make sure that what you get is working, because there's a lot of different companies out there.
So,
And
yeah.
there's crystals. A lot of people wear crystals to keep their energy balanced. Well, if you wear a crystal, you got to make sure you wash it, and you just wash it with a little soap and water and then rinse it, or put it in the sun. But those crystals will absorb energy, negative energy, and then they pull your energy down instead of up. So just wash them once in a while.
Kind of like your dreams.
Yeah, it's like everything, you take for granted. You get something and it's good and you think it's going to be good forever. Well, that's not usual. And everything what Nancy and I talk about now is about your brain. It's about keeping your brain healthy. And that's why we've started using new technology, the Brain Tap and the Resumex. It's like we could tell you all these things to do. I could work on you and give you nutrition to get your body healthy. The stress today is so huge on your body that it's very difficult to get out of that without tools and technology. And when you use technology, and when I go to these meetings and I'm with the top people in the country, and they talk about the technology that works and is very effective. And a lot of them are working with brain injury people or trauma, or kids with trauma or autism, any type of brain injuries, kids that are born with like dyslexia, any of those things. When you use technology now to improve the nervous system, then it can change those things because it opens different pathways to your brain. And without that, your brain has the exact same pathways. You keep repeating the same thing over and over again, and you don't get quite where you want to go. You get stuck. And we've been using the Brain Tap now for a year and a half.
I love my Brain Tap. I love my Brain Tap. I can't say enough about it. If for one thing, to do one session, you actually can feel, you don't even feel your body. You become so relaxed that stress is gone from your body. And it's just an amazing feeling. I don't dream very much at all anymore. And that kind of irritated me, but there's a sleep program on the Brain Tap and there's different meditations. So there was one about dreaming. So I did it the other night, and then I did another Brain Tap after that, which was beats and tones for your brain to calm your brain down, calm your, get peaceful. That was the first time I dreamt that night. I didn't remember everything, but I had little spurts of dreams. So it was like an aha moment. And I'm getting chills now that I can dream. I was blocked, but now by listening to the Brain Tap and doing different programs, I'm starting to dream now at night. And they're not nightmares, where you got people chasing you and but they're pleasant dreams. But I'm a true believer in that Brain Tap. I absolutely love my Brain Tap. It has saved me on numerous occasions just to calm me down and get centered again. So fan of the Brain Tap. It's a no-brainer. You put it on, you meditate for 20 minutes and you wake up and it's like you can feel better. Totally.
But the science of the Brain Tap is so phenomenal. What they do with that Brain Tap, like these neurologists, chiropractors, working with all these trauma, they have the Brain Tap on every person with, they also use the Resumex, which we also recommend. And they have all this technology to wake the brain up. And they do that over and over and over repeatedly with these people. And with normally, you like when you're stressed, most people need to use the Brain Tap 2 or 3 times a day. If you have like a little trauma, you definitely have to use it 3 times a day. And with the stress there is today, you have to use it 2 times. If you want to rebuild those brain cells, And when people say, well, I don't have time. Well, if you don't have time to improve your brain cells, even if you fall asleep with it on,
You're
just
still getting the benefit of what's being said. And I like that too. I don't have time. Well, there's a wake up session where most of the programs are maybe 10, 15 minutes. So if you can't find 10 minutes out of your morning to slip that headset on and do a quick, get yourself ready for the day, there's a problem.
Yeah,
And then
that's the wake
home,
up ones. The others can be anywhere from 20 to 30. Some sleep ones are a little bit longer, but they're all they're all great. And they're all, again, for your nervous system. It's to change and improve you so you could get what you want in life. So you stop doing the same thing. It's like you create your reality. Where do you want to go? How do you want to live? And it works.
it does work. Well, I haven't done all the programs, but I did one the other night. I can't remember what it was called, but it was just music. It was getting Zen something. Oh my God, it was phenomenal. I mean, I was out within minutes, and I've been having problems sleeping. I'm not sure why, but the interesting thing is a lot of our clients are having problems sleeping. So I don't know, something might be going on in the universe with all of
everything, with everything. Yeah.
But it is, put that brain tap on, I am out within minutes. Although there have been times when I put it on, I want to rip it off my head just because it's like I'm a little bit too. So I just go back to something short, sweet, get it taken care of, and I'm good to go again. But
yeah, when you can't handle it, you're in the wrong program. Your brain is like in overdrive, and you got to sometimes just go to the 10-minute ones and slow it down.
Slow it down and bring it back, rein it in. All right, time for us to take a short break. You're listening to Mary Jane Mack Show on Transformation Talk Radio. We'll catch you on the other side.
All clear, ladies.
Thank you, Benny. I'm rolling out. What's next, Mama?
What's next?
I love that brain tap.
Well, we'll talk a little bit about the Resumex along with that, along with all what we do. I mean, that all goes together.
Do you have your Resumex?
Yep.
You can show everybody. I took mine last night and laid it on my leg and fell asleep with it.
Yeah.
Just kind of
I put it behind my head here.
Let it go all night long, and it was great. But that dreaming thing is awesome.
Well, again, that's why the brain tap is great, but the Resumex is adding another tool to assist you to get better results too. It's like, again, it's the technology, what's going on today in the world. People are living on the edge and going off the edge.
Well, and the brain tap uses, the brain reacts to what? Sound, light, vibration. And so with the headset, there's the lights, you get the sound from the meditation, and then you get the vibration from the tones. But the Resumex is strictly vibrational. So,
well, it's vibrational, but it's waves of vibration. It's calibrated. So it's not the difference between like a vibration. Before, when I used to go to the meetings, they talked about just a massager, how much it would help to stimulate your body for your brain.
Wakes it up.
Yeah, and this is even better because it's certain patterns. And it works on your animals, horses.
Oh, God. Mr. Paddington loves his Resumex time.
We're still waiting, aren't we here?
Yeah. No, that we don't have the comeback music yet.
Yeah, we're almost done with the break. All right, stand by.
Thank- Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the Mary Jane Mack Show on Transformation Talk Radio. Happy St. Patrick's Day to everyone. Today, we're talking a little bit about everything, kind of going over the basics, things that you can do, look for it within your home, get things cleaned up. As we know, spring is coming, so that's what we're talking about today. Mary Jane.
We talked a little bit about the technology we use now and about the brain tap. And these are things that I recommend that make a difference in your life and can totally change your life. These are life-changing devices. They're not just a gadget.
And we talked about the Resumex.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about the Resumex. This is developed by Sherrick Peck out of Utah. and it's a vibrational tool that actually works on the body and there's different settings to it, and it creates different vibrations. Like some are waves, some get the energy in to wake up the body, some can be just a little stronger to stimulate the body, and it all depends on what's going on with you. And they use these for, again, they've had Sherrick come to their clinics, these doctors who work with the most difficult people. And once they added the Resumex, it even improved their results. People began walking sooner. And there's videos of this. People, when they would tape the Resumex on the arm and create you scrub the whole body with it. It's got wings and you rub your whole body with it. And it's waking up your body so your brain knows that that part of your body is still there. And it's all about your brain. And the more you wake up your body, the more your brain can change. And they had this taped on the arm. This comes off and you could use it just directly, like on your neck, different places. And they had this taped on the guy was a paraplegic. He was in a wheelchair. And they had been working with him. And the goal was to get him to be able to use his hand so he could use a motorized wheelchair because of his injury. They put this on, and they had the video. Within a short time, he was opening and closing his fingers. And the guy the doctor said he had never smiled before. And he had this smile on his face because now he had hope. He had hope. And that's what this technology does. It gives you hope. If you have a migraine headache, you use the Resumex. There's places you use it in your mouth. And Sherrick has great videos on YouTube that explain exactly how to do it. And so with this, when you do it, you can get rid of a migraine headache after one time. You have to keep using it for 4 to 6 weeks to change your brain and retrain it. But you could use it, scrub your whole body for 12 minutes a day and be done. You could do it an hour if you want. There's no time limit. People who are real sensitive can't do it that long. But I've seen dramatic results with one of my clients does it for 14 minutes. Every morning he said, I get up, I scrub my head, my mouth, and it goes and goes. Well, 3 weeks ago, this guy could hardly stay awake. And he works 80 hours a week. And when I talked to him a week ago, he looked like a different person. He was awake, he was laughing, he was joking. And that's just the beginning for him. He had a lot of trauma and some post-traumatic stress things going on. But if you don't do something with technology to change that, it's something that's this easy without going to one of these, the neurologists to do it. Of course, they can do it if you find the right people, but most of them, you got to go out of town and stay there for weeks or days. I mean, a long time.
No, you just got scrubbing your body. Speaking of, so I have a dog, Paddington, golden retriever, and he hates to have his feet touched. He's not one, he just doesn't like to have his feet touched. So I got the Resumex out, And I do from his head to his tail, did that. And then all of a sudden he laid down, and now I scrub Paddington's body every day and his feet. He loves it. He's snoring within minutes. And then after I get the whole side done, I'll say, all right, stand up, turn over. We got to do the other side. He gets up, he flops over, and he's out like a light. He loves the Resumex. So
Yeah.
that helps his nervous system too.
And he heard thunder the other day, and he was really getting all nervous and excited. And I started the Resumex on him right away, and it calmed him down. I had to do it a few times, but normally he goes crazy with that stuff, and we have to give him some nutrition to calm him down. But the Resumex really worked with that. Works on horses. We carry the Brain Tap here in our office, and we carry the Resumex. And the Resumex also you could get online at resumex.com. And if you put in my code, they'll know where you heard about it. You could put MJM in there. And yeah, Sherrick's a great guy. He's humble, and God has given him all this intuition. He learned about most of this at night in his dreams. He was sent messages or told these things, how to do it. And that over many years, and he had strokes and all kinds of major injuries, broken neck, was paralyzed and couldn't walk. And it was through the different vibrational tools that he started trying to invent, and that he came up with this, and he's perfectly healthy today.
Great guy, and he was our guest on our show in December. And we also had Dr. Patrick Porter, who is the creator and founder of Brain Tap. So if you happen to miss those shows, you can go to maryjanemack.com and go to the archives and listen to Sherrick himself or Dr. Patrick Porter. So, but yeah, I'm a fan of the Resumex too. I'll do my Brain Tap, and then I'll lay on my Resumex in the back. I'll put it behind my shoulders, or I'll put it lower back by my hips.
Yeah, it's for pain. It's for injuries. If you have trauma, you remember if you had a broken ankle or something, that part of your body is disconnected from your brain. So the idea of that is to rub, scrape, and rub. You do your whole body, but especially that area. And it increases circulation, increases nerve conduction to your brain, and then you heal faster and you get better faster. It's like so much fun to see the difference. Any mouth or injuries, any cranial nerve problems, TMJ, this is the solution to those things, because it actually goes in, relaxes those muscles, stops that pain, interrupts the pain, because it's not connected, and relaxes the muscles. You even put it in your mouth, inside your neck. That takes care of everything in the back of your throat. So
yeah, it's a wonderful tool. And what did Sherrick tell you when you use the Resumex? What you should think of is be grateful.
Gratitude.
When
they used, and when even that all these doctors, the neurologists, these great doctors, I can't tell you how brilliant they are. When they have people that use this, that you think of what you're grateful for. When you think of what you're grateful for, the results are dramatically improved. Dramatically.
It changes things within your body. So, I mean,
it changes your nervous system and your brain. It's like dramatic improvement. And a lot of guys have all this technology that shows all that, how it works. They have scans and different things. So it's very scientifically proven what it actually does to your brain. Yeah.
So, but I think we all need to find things that we're grateful for anyway on a daily basis. And it could be the smallest of things. It could be, somebody opened a door, the sun is out, the birds are singing.
Yeah.
Keep it simple, but you should think of 3 things you're grateful for at least once a day.
Yeah.
We have to wrap it up. Mary Jane, do you have any final messages?
Yeah, we have all these tips for you. We ask you to, it'd be good to listen to the other shows when you get a chance, but it's about just take a look around, and we want you to be the healthiest you could be. So we're giving you the basics, and we're giving you tools. And when we give you the package deal, that's when you have great results. So look at all these things, look at the value of them, take your life a step further to being the best you can be in every way. And we look forward to hearing from you, and give us a call, and Nancy will give us our number out.
If you'd like to call the office, it's 888-777-4232. That's 888-777-4232. We can book you an appointment with Mary Jane. If you're interested in a Resumix or a brain tap, we have got them here. I'd like to thank everybody for listening to the Mary Jane Mack Show. Time for us to leave. I hope everybody has a fabulous St. Patrick's Day, and we'll catch you all next month on the Mary Jane Mack Show on Transformation Talk Radio. Have a great day, people.
Man, to the post. Nice